Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to use these random rings, they're canning rings, to make a fun autumn craft or decoration. So you'll see here I have some that are silverish, some that are more the brassy, some that are white, some that are very rusty. I'm using gold paint here. You can use orange, you can keep them rusty if you want, kind of embrace it if you've got a bunch. This, I wanted to make them all uniform and nice looking, so I'm going to spray paint them with gold. I did 2 thin coats on each side, and from there just letting that dry, and it's pretty simple. I'm going to show you, here's kind of the finished product of the painting. Luckily it dries pretty quick. And then I am using some twine here. You can use ribbon and lining them up so they kind of cradle or cup each other, and you're going to put them all in a ring and tie them. Get a good old square knot. Make sure you tie them tightly. I thought that I needed a couple more rings, but this is all that I had that were the same size. I think these are small mouth jars, and I think it still turned out nicely though. So you're gonna, once you're tied nice and tight, cut off the ends. Now for the stem of this, you can go out and just go in your yard and find a stick if you want. I got these short cinnamon sticks, full size long ones that I had would have been too long, so I would have had to cut them down, but these guys are little short ones. And then this burlap for the leaves. Now is this the actual shape that pumpkins have for their leaves? No, but I think that this works really well for the rustic little look that we're going for. So cut those out. And then I'm just using some simple hot glue to put everything in its place and keep it cemented well together. So putting the cinnamon sticks together, and you're going to want to make sure once you've got them kind of in the formation that you want, that you glue it well. Obviously just down at the bottom, you don't want to actually be able to see it near the top. And then hold it while it cools down so it doesn't lose its shape. And then going to put it inside the rings. Again, just there at the bottom, hold it so it keeps its shape. And then putting on the leaves the same way. Now I did end up adding a little bit more security to keep it together so it wasn't so kind of fragile that it was just going to fall apart when you picked it up. So from here it looks pretty much done, but again I wanted to secure it just a little bit more, so I did take some more glue on the bottom and also on the top. So the leaves I glued just a little bit higher up so they sit more flat, and so the tightest little tug won't just pull them out. And then on the bottom, putting another little piece of that burlap down there really helped to secure the sticks to the fabric, to the rings, to each other. So felt much more secure to be able to actually pick it up and move it around and put it in storage for the next year. So that is the finished product. Now what if you don't have all these canning rings? First of all, you can get them on Amazon. I've got a store down below that is linked up and helps support the channel. Otherwise, you can do it with toilet paper tubes, or this is a paper towel tube. Or you know what, if you just want something for kids specifically that you're not necessarily caring if it lasts year after year, it's a fun little project. So I'm going to paint it. This is just acrylic paint. You can use different kind of craft paints and let it dry. And then I'm measuring out here, trying to get them to be very even, and you can kind of carefully fold it in half and use scissors if you want, instead of cutting it out with a craft knife like this. Now it could have looked better if after cutting I had painted on the inside so you didn't see the brown kind of shining through. I don't know if that's the way you say it, but peeking out. But you know, just depends on how much effort you want to go. So I got my twine or yarn or whatever you want to use and tied it kind of the same way. They obviously don't cradle as nicely as the rings do to each other, but still it works out. And then using smaller slivers of a tube, I am making a stem and leaves. So painting brown, even though this is brown, I wanted it to look a little nicer. And then green, these I did do the outside and inside, and then just have them folded after they dry. And then I'm just situating them together. You could use regular craft glue. I like the hot glue gun because it dries faster, but obviously if you're working with kids, an adult wants to do that part, you want to be careful. But just situating it that way. Now this is pretty simple that you could just kind of sit it inside the ring, but to make it a little more sturdy, I decided to glue it into the orange ring. So kind of find where it lays and then just put little tiny dots of the hot glue gun. So there is the finished product. What do you think? I think it is a fun option for kids, or you know what, for adults if that's what you have on hand. So supplies that you probably have. But let me know what you think. I love these projects and I've got more coming up, including what to do with lids, canning lids, because we tend to have a lot more of those than you have canning rings around if you deal with canning supplies at all. So again, I have an Amazon shop where you can get supplies if you'd like. Please check that out. And other videos coming up, cooking, crafting, all the fun. I hope you have a wonderful day and thanks for joining me here.